Do we have any visitors with us today? Will all of our visitors please stand so that we may give you a hearty and healthy St. Charles Lwanga welcome? Will all of our visitors please stand? Welcome, welcome to St. Charles Lwanga. We are happy to announce that the second event of the Black Catholic Speaker Series will be held this coming Saturday, March 2nd, here at St. Charles Lwanga Church. Professor Mark Latkovic of Sacred Heart Major Seminary will present on evangelizing Detroit through Catholic social teaching. The day will start at 9 a.m. with rosary and registration, a parishioner testimony, catered breakfast, the talk by the professor, and then followed by a question and answer session. More information can be found on page 15 of the lantern. The cost of the event is $8, and donations will also be accepted for the Sister Thea Bowman Canonization Fund. And since normally the Parish Council meets on the first Saturday, Parish Council will be meeting at 12 o'clock after the speaker series. Next Sunday, the Igbo community will be having a healing service during their Mass, and all are invited to attend. The Mass begins at 2 o'clock p.m. here at St. Charles Lwanga Church. Buffalo Wild Wings, it's that time. Get your wings on. This Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 11:30 p.m., Buffalo Wild Wings will give 20% of any purchase made by anyone who shows them the flyer at the Dearborn location. There are flyers on it's in your lantern, page 10 of the lantern. Please make copies of that, pass it out to your friends and family. Also come to the Dearborn location, stand outside of Buffalo Wild Wings before you get your wings on, and pass the flyers out to anyone who goes by. Remember, 20% of all purchases made between 11 o'clock a.m. and 11:30 p.m. comes to the parish. We ask that you remember the family of Pearline O'Neill, the mother of Latrice Jenkins, in your prayers. Miss O'Neill passed away this week, and funeral arrangements are in the lantern on page 8. Ash Wednesday is March 6th. That's when Lent begins, and the Friday after Lent, after Ash Wednesday, is fish time. There is an order form in the lantern. Please make your orders early. Also on Ash Wednesday, the church will be open all day, beginning at 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. for the distribution of ashes along with prayer. For ministers of service, we ask that you see James Tolbert to sign up for an hour of prayer. And finally, Beautiful Motions Ballroom will begin on March 9th. Please see page 11 of your lantern for more information. Thank you.
3,000 came in of this year to search for David in the desert himself.
So David and Abishai went among Saul's soldiers by night and found Saul lying asleep within the barricade with his spear thrust into the ground at his head and Abner and his men sleeping around him. Abishai whispered to David, God has delivered your enemy in your grasp this day. Let me nail him to the ground with one thrust on the spear. I would not need a second thrust. But David said to Abishai,
Do not harm. So who can lay hands on the Lord's anointed and remain unpunished?
So David took the spear and the water jug from their place at Saul's head, and they got away without anyone seeing or knowing or awakening. All remained asleep because the Lord had put them in a deep slumber. Going across to the opposite slope, David stood on a remote hilltop at a great distance from Abner, son of Ner, and the troops. He said,
Here is the king's spirit. Let an attendant come over to get it.
A reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. Brothers and sisters, it is written, the first man, Adam, became a living being, the last Adam of giving spirit. But the spiritual was not first, then the spiritual. The first man was from earth, earthly. The second man was from heaven.
As was the earthly one, so also are the earthly. And as is the heavenly one, so also are the heavenly. Just as we have borne the image of the earthly one, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly one. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Jesus said to his disciples, "To you who hear, I say, love your enemies, do good to the person who strikes you on the cheek, offer the other one as well. And from the person who takes your coat, do not withhold even your tunic. Give to everyone who asks of you. And from the one who takes what is yours, do not demand it back. Do to others as you would have them do to you. For if you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners love you. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners do the same. If you lend money to those from whom you expect repayment, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners and get back the same amount. But rather, love your enemies and do good to them, and lend expecting nothing back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High. For he himself is kind to the ungrateful and the wicked. Be merciful just as your Father. Packed together.